Welcome to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast. My name's John.
My name is Dante.
Huge episode, monumental episode
Massive.
for a few reasons. First of all, it's episode 51. Welcome. It's good to have you. It's good to know you listening out there. First and foremost, a couple housekeeping things. Episode 51, we skipped one episode, so this should be episode 52.
Correct.
So this isn't today isn't the 1 year anniversary, but I cut it like last episode. I cut it all out, but we were trying to figure out.
I'm happy that you did. Yeah.
We were really trying to figure out what made an anniversary. But today marks 1 year of doing this, and then next week will be the anniversary because that's like, you know what I mean.
Gotcha.
So happy 1 year.
Happy 1 year, everyone.
And then next week we'll say the same thing of happy anniversary, happy 1 year. But this officially marks 1 year, one full calendar year of doing this. Like I said, we missed one episode, so that's why the numbers are, you know what I mean. But yeah,
that's why we were very
ride.
confused last week putting this together.
And also, I feel like a lot's happened, like especially within the past like couple months. I feel like we've had a couple of these episodes where it's been like, damn, crazy ride.
Yeah,
like, damn,
yeah.
So like huge milestone.
Yeah.
I feel like we've already done the thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
I feel like we've like done. You know,
Yeah.
Not that it can't be done more because it, you know, everyone out there deserves it. But I feel like we covered our bases.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, obviously, you guys know. We are very grateful for you guys. The fact,
only reason why we're able to do this for a year
100%,
and on.
100%. Yeah. I mean, we've been doing this for a year now. It's crazy. Time flies. We've done a lot the last year. We've grown a lot. We've done a lot of different things, and we plan on, keep going, to keep growing, to keep accomplishing more. And, episode 51, it's a great mark. It's a great milestone, 1 year, but, we're going to keep pushing forward and hit more milestones in the future. So
someone, I think you saw it too, someone tweeted us all like the big list of like, which is
the quizzes
which is
or whatever.
Wild.
Yeah.
But how many, I was 140 something videos in total this year. What was the number? Let's see.
113
quizzes / challenges. So not even counting. So that plus 51 and then some.
It's a lot of videos.
Is how many videos.
And we have a few like hot takes, like
that's why. Oh, right. Those aren't even included. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. We've video games.
I've edited that many. Holy shit. The video games. Oh, so we're probably knocking on the door of 200.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. Well, can't you see on YouTube how many total videos you have?
It adds like shorts and so it's like a shit ton of shorts.
Never mind then.
Which is still, I don't even know if it'll. Oh well, if you want to include shorts, 545. So I've edited 545.
It's a lot of videos. That is a lot of videos.
Jeepers.
But yeah, we're here. We made it. We appreciate you guys so much, and cheers to the next year.
And with that said, it makes sense. It's monumental. It took a little less than a year, but it's monumental on this day. We passed 100,000 a little bit ago, but we just got a little something in the mail. I don't really know if I want to. We passed, or we got, excuse me, the 100,000 plat.
I'm shocked it came in as fast as it did.
It was, I usually hear like.
It takes a long time.
I always hear like, oh, it took months and da-da-da. This was only took like 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah, I brought it home, showed it to my parents the other day.
That's awesome.
I'm sure a lot of people saw it on the Instagram. But yeah, shit's crazy.
That is dope.
It is
shout out YouTube. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And shout out to you guys
really crazy.
For allowing us to get something like this.
Thank you forever. See if I can finagle putting it. There we go.
There it is. Perfect. Like a glove.
Then I got Rey Mysterio wearing the
I was going
SCW
to say,
hat,
that's a nice little touch.
A little change up, which I don't know if anyone can even see.
I was going to say, I don't know if anyone, I can see it though. That's what's important.
Was there anything else? I guess before we get started, hit the join button, join our Discord, our members only Discord. We're still working out things. It might not be members only forever, or some aspects will still be members only, but get in on the ground floor. We have a handful of people in there, and they're chatting. We're chatting in there.
Yep, we're having a good time.
What else? You have your newsletter link in description.
Check that out for some just like weekly updates on what we're doing on this channel. If you missed it the last week, subscribe, of course. please, for the love of God.
So let's get into it. Actually, one bit of non-wrestling news that is taking the internet by storm. I don't know if you probably saw it, depending on if you open Twitter this morning. GTA 6 has been announced, baby.
Yeah,
I mean, what are we gonna do? Not talk about it?
So that's their 25th anniversary next year.
Of Rockstar.
That's crazy. Yeah, so they'll put out a trailer next month. Woo, dude! This game, like GTA 5 is the second highest selling game of all time behind Minecraft.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it arguably is the greatest video game of all time, depending on who you talk to.
The fact that like the longevity it's had, where
been
like
out 10 years and it's still
like,
fucking going, bro.
Because like
nuts.
Online, there's like maps and creator maps, and like I feel like now maybe it's taken a lull, maybe the past like 1 or 2 years, but still to have like an 8 or 10
to hit a lull after 8 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Super impressive. And like GTA 5 was so ahead of its time, like the whole open world concept, like they just revolutionized that. Because I think they're using the new graphics system,
like the new engine, or
something
they call
like
it.
that, bro. It's gonna be fucking crazy. Yeah. It's gonna be another revolutionary video game. I can't wait.
It's gonna be. I tweeted this, but I think it's gonna be. Might be the game that gets me back into games. I'll probably get it for PC. I probably won't get a console. I'll probably get it for PC and just run a controller. But I am willingly and open to get sucked back into the world of video games with GTA
is worth it.
But granted, so trailer's gonna come out, they say next week or whatever.
Next week, next month, whatever it is. Yeah.
The release date's not gonna be for another.
No, it'll be another
2 years or whatever.
It'll be at least a year.
I wonder if they'll even put.
I think they'll put out. I think they'll give a date. I bet they'll say like December 2024.
Yeah, I doubt they give like a concrete, but I wouldn't. Yeah, if they say like even if they go winter 2024,
right? Like they'll give you a timetable, but not like the exact date.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's I bet so. GTA 5, funny story. It was the first ever game that you actually had to download to like play. So it came out with the 360. Right?
Yeah, that's what I had.
So I remember I pre-ordered it. I was a freshman in high school, so I pre-ordered it, got it, and I went to play it. Put the disc in and it said you don't have enough space for this. You need like 8 megabytes, 8 gigabytes, whatever it is. So I didn't have my license at the time. My mom had to drive me to Kmart to buy a flash drive to put into my Xbox and download it and play.
Right. I remember, yeah.
And I bet you. So now like on Xboxes, PlayStations, games nowadays like are like at least 50 gigs.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like an NBA 2K is 120 gigs. I would put my fucking life savings on the fact that this is going to be at least like 200-300 gigabytes. It's going to be a massive. The map, the rumor, of course, there's nothing confirmed. It's like 3 to 5 times bigger than the map now, which is already.
And like, the map now is giant.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be crazy. I can't wait. And also, speaking of video games, OG Fortnite has been back this last week. So
I saw that.
I have been playing a lot
busy
of Fortnite.
Week for you.
Very busy.
Wow.
Week. And the concept is cool.
I kind of want to hop back into it because I was on Fortnite when it first came out.
So the concept, it's interesting. So it's a 1 month thing, right? So
it's only 1 month.
So the whole Fortnite does like storylines and stuff like that. The story is like there's a time machine and it's something it got fucked up, so now they went back in time basically. So it's 4 weeks and each week is a different season. So the season ends tomorrow, and then so right now they're in season 5 of the very first like chapter of Fortnite. Next week it's going to be season 6, so the map's going to change to what it was for season 6. They're going to take out all the stuff that was in season 5, add in all new stuff. Then it's going to be week 7. Then I think they're skipping season 8, and then they're doing season 9 and 10 as the last week, and then it's going to start a brand new chapter.
So after all of this, so they're just doing like storylines. So after all this, OG Fortnite's gone.
Yes,
just keep it.
Yeah,
like how they have like old school RuneScape and shit.
So I've said for a while what I think Fortnite should do is they should be like Call of Duty, where like you can like pick like I want to choose like you have different maps.
Right.
So
yeah.
It's like you can like load into like 5 or 6 different maps. I think it's more of an issue of like. Just like servers and like making it work. I think that's the biggest issue. But I'm like, for people that love season 5, keep a season 5 map in there. So if you want to play like so whatever, you can jump into that one or you can jump in the new one or something.
I just think I wouldn't doubt because it seems like it's super popular. I wouldn't doubt after like all this silliness stuff they're doing if they just keep like a OG Fortnite like season 1 around because that was like first of all it's prime one lack of a better term prime pandemic. Where like everyone was hopping on, everyone was playing Fortnite. That's probably even before.
It was before. I think
I feel like people got into
2017, 2018 because I remember.
Oh, okay, that my time's
Well, that was like.
Wow.
Well, I think the peak of it was probably like 2018, I think.
Okay.
2019.
Either way, I feel like I was
when like
on it.
Drake went on and streamed that one. That was it. That was the best.
Wow, it came out in 2017. That's crazy.
I remember walking into my friend's dorm room in 2017 for sophomore year of college, and he was playing it. It just came out as like a beta, whatever, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" He goes, "It's this new battle royale that came out." I'm like, "What the hell's a battle royale?"
Right, that's kind of what started the whole.
And then a
thing.
week later, everyone was playing it. It was insane how quickly it picked up. But yeah, that's what they're doing.
Wow.
It's been fun. I mean, it's nice reliving those old maps and stuff. But yeah, it's not gonna last forever.
Well, hopefully, with all of the OG Fortnite and all of that, you've had some time to check out WWE Crown Jewel.
I actually rewatched most of it last night.
We're gonna start right here. We have Crown Jewel to go over, but we're gonna start the hottest news. WarGames,
Yes, sir.
has been officially announced. I mean, we've known it. We've known it was coming. It's gonna be Judgment Day, being JD, Damian, Finn, Dom versus Cody, Sami, Jay, Seth.
So I wonder if they're gonna add a fifth member to each team.
So that's probably.
Because people were like because some people were saying like, oh, there's gonna be a missing and someone's gonna be added, and they're like, no, it's like always 4-on-4, but last year it was 5-on-5 because it was Roman, Jimmy J, Solo, Sami,
Right.
against it was like
whoever
the other, it was like Kevin, Drew, Sheamus,
Yeah, just a
the Brawling Brute.
mishmash
Yeah, it
of
was a few
people.
different
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
It was 5-on-5 last year. So I can imagine they do it again this year. Some people are saying like Drew McIntyre's on the Judgment Day side. Obviously, people are saying like CM Punk, Randy Orton for the good guys.
Right. That's kind of the four I have down. Is I could see Jimmy join
I think
Judgment
Jimmy's
Day.
going to join the Judgment Day. I think that makes
I mean,
the most
especially if they're
sense.
gonna if they want to keep doing a Jay and Jimmy story.
Right, exactly.
You know, it's not gonna be exactly like I was hoping it would be like Jimmy led versus Jay led.
Right.
Not gonna be
Doesn't seem
exactly
like it,
that.
but
I think we'll get them each on a team, and then like in the middle of the match, them two fucking face to face.
I think it makes sense that it's more centered around the Judgment Day and these four, just because
right. That's been
they've been feuding for the last 6 months. So this has to be the end of it. This has to be the end of
I
all
hope
this.
so. I hope.
You'd imagine.
It's not. I'll tell you this now. It's not gonna be.
The Judgment Day is still going to be
Yeah.
opening and closing every Monday Night Raw after this, no matter what.
And then, like you mentioned, Randy, potential Randy joining.
Yep.
I would imagine. I mean, I doubt he comes back a heel. I would imagine if anyone,
It would
if he
be on the
joins
good
anyone,
guy side,
be
for
on the
sure.
babyface side. That would be cool.
I just I get the whole CM Punk thing. I really do. I just don't know if it makes sense for it to happen here in this match. I mean, it would be sick.
Yeah, I mean they're.
It's also like no one knows if he's actually returning or not. So that's also the other side of things.
Yeah, it seems like the internet's really just taken the ball and ran.
I'm seeing stories of he sent out feelers and they shut him down to he met with the higher ups and they're just planning out the finer detail. Like I'm seeing
everything. It's almost a meme at this point. But everything that's like almost CM Punk adjacent on Raw, they'll be like CM Punk mentioned.
And I am one of those people that falls into that trap sometimes. But
Seth Rollins on I watch it really. If you haven't seen it, it's fucking what is it? The Eat Their Last Meal thing on YouTube.
yes, I did.
With
I did
Mythical
actually. I
Kitchen.
actually did
Did you watch that?
Yeah,
Is
I
it
did.
so
I did.
good?
I love that series.
Really
it's
good.
a really cool series.
I haven't seen that series, but the Seth Rollins one specifically, really, really good.
He's a really good interviewer. He
is.
reminds me
He's
of
great.
like
He's not too like obviously they're all media trained, but this like he'll say like he'll go on there and be like shit, and he'll be talk about drinking beers, like you know what I mean.
And he does his research too. Like he asks like good questions.
The
like,
interviewer?
like
The interviewer's good.
Deep, like
Yeah.
old stuff. He reminds me of the guy from Hot Ones,
Sean Evans. Yeah.
reminds me of him a lot.
But on that show, Punk drank a Pepsi, and then a lot of people were like, "Oh, he did on purpose," and you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's a little bit too much. I think. I mean, listen, people like Pepsi. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with a cold Pepsi. So, yeah. I mean, I'm not. I still have no idea. I'm not expecting him to show up. I think no matter what happens, Survivor Series is gonna get taken over by the fans. It's gonna be people are gonna be chanting.
I mean, there was Punk chants on
Crown
Raw.
Jewel too.
Crown
it was
Jewel too. Yeah,
People are gonna. what's the word I'm thinking of?
Hijack.
They're gonna hijack the show for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, I'm not even putting too much thought into it. It's like,
I'll believe it when I see it.
If he were to return, it would make sense at a Survivor Series in Chicago. I get it. In what contexts? I mean, Roman's probably not even going to be on the show.
Apparently not.
Seth is in the WarGames match.
People are saying, because Shinsuke's been doing this whole looking for a challenger thing. He like doing all these promos and stuff, and he's saying like, I'm looking for someone type of thing.
And I love Shinsuke.
The theory is that it's going to lead to an open challenge at Survivor Series.
That would be super
and
weird.
Shinsuke did the GTS a few weeks ago, so people are really harping on that right now.
I guess if anything, I guess that's the opening.
That would make. I mean, I think that would make more sense than if he just was thrown into a war game.
Oh, I mean, well, yeah, for sure.
In my opinion, but. I don't know. Again, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not getting caught up on CM Punk being at Survivor Series.
And last one, Drew McIntyre to join the heels, which makes it that if from what we've been saying for 2 or 3 weeks happens, he joins the Judgment Day or at least aligns himself with it. Rhea's, there's been some backstage moments at Crown Jewel, and I don't know, maybe at Raw, I'm not sure, of just like some little bit like I told you so, or Sami, you could have used our help. So I don't know, but those are the 4: Jimmy, Randy, Drew, Punk. I think the most likely is probably Jimmy, Drew.
Right.
I guess Randy too. I mean, Punk obviously the least likely, but
yeah, I think if I had to rank them, I'd probably go Jimmy, Drew, Randy, Punk.
Yeah, that's pretty safe ranking. That's a safe ranking.
That's the safe prediction right now.
But yeah, so we're gonna circle back to WarGames and Rob. Want to touch at that at the top because that's the most hype. Oh, you see the poster for WarGames?
Cody Rhodes.
Dude,
those are the best posters. Those are the best one. And we just did the wrestling poster video. And I'm like, that
didn't come out yet, but yeah.
Okay, not real spoiler. Those are the posters that kick the most ass. That's
it's
like
a little scary.
That reminds me of like an old vintage poster though. Like that brings me back to like 08, 09. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to find it. I couldn't find it. What? And a lot, like instantly, I mean, the internet's going to be the internet, but instantly people were putting Starface or Stardust edits because it was like the face paint.
Of course.
It's like, come on, let the guy have
his poster. Come on.
Can't find the poster, but anyway.
Yeah, you guys can find it.
We're going to dive into some WWE Crown Jewel. Before we get into the show, like match by match specifically, what are your thoughts? What are you giving the show overall? And then what was your favorite match?
I mean, I thought the show was actually paced very well. I thought one thing Triple H has been he's been doing for all these shows is like quality over quantity, like not really trying to put on too many matches and just trying to put on good quality matches. I honestly thought most of the matches were really, really good. Like the Sami JD, I didn't really care much for. Cody Damian,
that was pretty good.
It was good, but like it just wasn't like hyped, or I wasn't like hyped about it. Cody Damian was all right. Whatever. I think my favorite match.
Yeah, what's your match of the night?
The Cena solo one was probably the most shocking match to me.
For sure.
But I don't know if that was my favorite match.
I have mine. Mine's Logan Ray.
I'm between Logan Ray, Bianca, Io, and honestly, Roman LA Knight was a really good match.
It was good.
They delivered on that one.
I'd say my top 3, I think, are Logan Ray, the Women's Fatal 5-Way.
That was solid.
And then probably Seth Drew.
Yeah, I think I'm either gonna settle with Bianca and Io or Logan and Ray. I think those are my 2 favorite matches.
Out of 10, what are you giving the whole show?
Probably like a solid 8, probably.
Oh wow,
maybe
generous.
Like a 7.5, 8. Something
probably
like
closer.
That.
I'd be closer to like a 6.5.
I'll bring it down to 7.5.
I say 8's generous.
I'll put him at like a 75.
8 is like one of the best.
Yeah, no, because I mean, like I do think all the matches were good. You know what I mean? I don't think there was like a part in the show that I was like bored or anything like that.
For sure.
But I've seen worse shows. I've seen better shows. So
8.
Yeah. So 8.
And a little more housekeeping. We do have a new SCW Predictions champion.
Congratulations.
Unexpected. I didn't.
Yeah,
this
I
one
honestly,
was not
I wasn't
me to
even really
win.
keeping track with it when I was watching.
Unexpected. Well, I was, because I won the championship.
I honestly was forgetting, like, what we switched it last second. I was like, I forgot which ones you changed.
Yeah,
and
because you
stuff.
ended up, the only one you changed JD to Sam, or you changed your JD and Sammy.
Correct.
So you picked JD.
Yeah, let me see
And
what
then I changed, I picked Solo. I changed it to, I picked Solo over Cena, and then Ray over Logan. I didn't think, and the Solo Cena one is what won it for me. I think both of us were very shocked by
for
that.
sure, definitely. Yeah, I think JD was the only one I changed. It looks like
Champion's Advantage. That's what it was.
that's what it was.
New predictions champion. Not taken in storyline. We're starting to get a little caught up in quizzes, so I gotta think back on who's champion. I think you're champion currently.
Am I?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
All
right.
So at least I could take the double champ from you.
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna keep that. Keep that right there.
Sorry. Good thing we have a AEW event in a week. So
Oh, is
the
Full Gear before Survivor Series?
Yeah.
Wait,
it's
when
like
is
the
Full
week
Gear?
before.
So wait, is that
we don't have
this
to-
weekend?
No, not the weekend after.
Oh, okay.
So we can.
I was like, oh fuck, we have to do predictions.
No, next week. Next week's predictions.
Because then November 18th. Okay. And then
So we have to do predictions next week and then the week after.
wow.
Yeah, big predictions.
Yeah, because Survivor Series is
Big
holy
predictions month.
Shit.
Big predictions month.
I forgot. I gotta put that. All right. Interesting. Okay. Where am I? Lost my spot. Blah blah blah. We'll start off here. Sammy and JD. Kind of touched upon it a little bit. I thought it was solid for a show opener.
It was.
You know?
It was a fine match. Like I said, it was just like the hype levels weren't there.
I think my two takeaways, stuff we already know. JD, super underrated. The more I see of him, the more, and you were giving his praises last week, but the more I see of him, the more I'm like, it's pretty solid.
He can go.
And then Sami, again, as also shown on Raw, I think he took the opportunity to really show, like, I probably shouldn't be on the pre-show. I'm
more of a pre-show.
I'm one of the best.
Yeah, I'm not a pre-show guy.
So I kind of I like the match. I think they both had something to prove, and they both kind of took the opportunity. Both of them.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins retains his World Heavyweight Championship against Drew McIntyre.
First match of the night.
Opened the night.
Yep. Throws out the whole cash in.
I was so, and it's my own fault.
They still tried to do it at the end, but we all knew it wasn't going to happen.
But I think I just had this whole thing in my head where I was like, and this is going to happen. This is going to happen.
I think they put it on first to kind of just to get people to be like, all right, listen, that's not happening tonight type of thing. I wonder if they did that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it was so much of that, because they do that a lot with, like, they'll have like
Open
a main event on first and a main event. Over the past couple of years, they've been doing that. But who knows? But good match, solid match.
It was, yeah.
Like I said, I was a little instantly disappointed we weren't going to get a whole lot of Money in the Bank shenanigans, except at the end, which we'll get to. Opened up with a match of the night contender. Not for me, as it turns out, but great match. At the end of the match, Damien's music hits and he goes to cash in, but Sami Zayn runs in, loves himself a hoodie, and steals the briefcase, runs in the crowd. Damien chases him off.
Yeah.
And Seth was just kind of just like,
all right,
cool, word.
I always can tell that, like, you can always tell when they will and won't cash in when something like that happens, because Damien goes down, like, gives the ref the briefcase, and he's like telling him, like, yeah, I'm gonna cash in. Yeah, I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna beat
bangs
him.
on the case.
Yeah, he
like,
goes, come on,
cash it in.
I'm
cash
ready to
it
go
in.
for like 15 seconds. I'm like, all right, so you're not gonna cash it.
Because whenever they do it, it's a pretty instant, like, run in, and maybe there'll be a little bit of, like, cash in.
Right,
and it's pretty,
right, yeah.
But at least it's like, it'll be like you said, it's like 5 minutes, just like, come on, ring the bell, come on.
Yeah, it's
come
like,
on,
buddy, you gotta go in the ring. Like,
yeah,
you gotta do the first steps here.
So initially, because a lot of this will weave into Raw. Initially, I was like, okay, cool. Like, Sami stole the briefcase. What does this mean? We're gonna get some sort of, like, either. I mean, it's wrestling, so rules are out the window. Does this mean Sami can cash it in?
Right.
Is he gonna change the contract, or is he just gonna play a cat and mouse thing?
Yeah.
None of that. Because
having fun sucks.
at the beginning of Raw, this past Monday, off camera, not even like, I mean, they explained it on camera, but like off camera, Damian Priest just is just giving his briefcase back because I think Sami was told by Adam Pearce to give it back or whatever the fuck they were saying.
You got to give him his briefcase back.
Yeah, that's not yours. So like, and
that's not yours.
I get it. It led to setting up and a reason for Sami and Seth later in the night, which by all means,
it was great. It made sense.
It made sense, and they gave logic to the main event, whatever.
But it could have.
Like what? Like why even do it?
Yeah, we could have had some. Just had like you could have had a situation where like Damian ran out with the briefcase or something, so you can kind of erase the whole Sami getting the briefcase thing. And even if you do, like I don't know, just
I like the
have
idea
some
of
fun
Sami.
with it.
Yeah, like
maybe Monday night you have a thing where it's like Damian's trying to find Sami
a
all
whole night.
It doesn't have to be more than like you can just this one episode.
Sure,
it doesn't have to extend more than that.
A whole night. You keep cutting back. You have the story throughout the show, and Damian's looking for Sami, and he's he's hiding and shit.
You know, because it already had. So Sami and Seth fought for the championship. Sami comes out with the briefcase, being like, "I'm cashing this. I want my world championship match."
That's what I was.
And then like before the match happens, like Damian comes out and like it disrupts all. I'm happy we got the match because it was a great match, but they could have been creative with it.
And I get like they've established like no, it's the name on the contract, or it's like, you can't steal the briefcase and cash in. I get it. However, they can change the rules whenever they want. You know what I mean?
It's WWE.
How fun would it have been if it ends up being like, not a hot potato thing, but like Sami takes it, and then like now Sami can cash it in. Like you just said, Sami goes to cash it in, and Damian runs in, and
dude,
they could have done so much.
I'm still holding on to faith that like Finn Balor's got the other briefcase with the contract in it, and then he's gonna fuck over Damian when it all comes about.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm holding on to faith. I'm holding on to faith because that would be unheard of.
I mean, at the very least of having fun with it and doing something creative with it, because I'm running out of steam with this Damian briefcase thing. It's like I think
because we're August, October, November. We're only 4 months in. We're not even halfway through.
I don't think this makes sense. I think it's impossible. But what if he cashes it in like the middle of the WarGames match? Cashes in the middle of the WarGames match.
Fuck.
Pins Seth, wins it in the middle of the match.
What if he What if he cashed it in during the match? But then, like, Finn pins Seth or something like that. Like, Damian doesn't even get the pin.
Sure. I think they could do something creative
gets
here.
The pin.
Yeah.
It could get weird.
It's all elimination too, so it's not like it would like end the match or whatever. We just eliminate Seth or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or have it hang in like the whole like he cashes it in and then doesn't get the pin on Seth. So the whole match he's like trying to pin Seth.
Right.
Or it counts for the whole team. And like you said, like Dom tries to pin. I think it's
JD walks out as world heavyweight champion.
It's too convoluted and probably doesn't make any sense, but that would be a ball.
Yeah. Though they definitely have options.
title. You have a title change and the match is still going on. You have a title change mid-match.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That would be pretty wacky. Well, they have options.
They have options. For sure. Call us. We got some ideas. Rhea Ripley retained against Nia Jax, Zoe Stark, Raquel Rodriguez, and Shayna Baszler. Ton of fun. I loved this.
I think Zoe Stark was the MVP of the match.
Oh,
she was fucking so good.
Yeah,
she was incredible.
I'd say if like behind like Rhea,
obviously behind Rhea, but I think Zoe Stark really had a solid showing for herself.
Rhea had a huge entrance. Some would argue maybe went for a little long, but regardless,
hey,
I mean, this is what I was hoping for with her reign. We haven't gotten these big matches and these like great performances. We've gotten solid performances. We haven't gotten this level. And I think just capped off with this huge. I mean, the entrance is like, oh, she's a star,
right?
Yeah. I thought that was great. Shayna did this cool like triple submission thing with like she locked the two legs and then got fucking Nia in a head. Shit was nuts. Like you said, Zoe Stark, I agree with that, was the standout, which also makes sense because on Raw, she went on to win the Battle Royal to become the number one contender for Rhea's championship and will face Rhea Ripley at Survivor Series one-on-one.
Hell yeah.
Huge, fresh.
That'll be a kick-ass match.
Yeah, I'm excited, especially like with coming off of this performance, Rhea having probably her best performance of her reign, and Zoe Stark having a breakout performance. So solo without without a Trish Stratus in her corner, without having to rely on a Becky on the other side. No, this is gonna be great. I'm very excited for the Raw Women's division.
So let me tell you what I think is gonna happen at Survivor Series. So what I think could happen, Zoe looks like she's about to win. Whatever. Who comes out of nowhere? Trish Stratus. She's been out for a little bit.
Oh,
and they haven't because how it ended was like Zoe turned on her. I guess it was kind of like it was built up, but Zoe turned on her. I mean, maybe Trish is officially done at this point.
Yeah, I have no idea.
No one really confirmed or what if her run's over.
I don't know if she's injured. I don't know where she's been.
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe probably just something a storyline just to get her off TV. But hey, maybe she comes back, costs Zoe the story, and they have a match at some point.
Yeah, because they haven't done the Zoe Trish match yet, which is what we thought was leading.
And Survivor Series, obviously, a big 4 pay-per-view would be a pretty big return if she was there. So, will it happen? I don't know, but I think that the door is open for that. It's definitely a possibility.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
or someone else could see Jade make an appearance too.
Sure.
Haven't seen Jade yet. Maybe Jade throws down a challenge, maybe post-match sort of thing.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Maybe Zoe loses, and then as Rhea's celebrating, Jade comes out. For sure.
Which I don't know if I like throwing Jade right into the title. I want her to have a couple wins under her belt,
especially
first.
Rhea. I feel like it's kind of like if you're putting Jade against Rhea, it's just kind of like you're putting 2 superstars who shouldn't lose against each other.
Yeah, because I don't want Rhea to
and it's
kind
of like who. Yeah,
but we'll see. Solo Sikoa defeats John Cena.
Shocking.
In what was a very unexpected outcome.
It was. I'm watching this, bro, and he hits him with the Samoan spike. I'm like, and he's down. I'm like, oh, he's gonna go to pin him. He's gonna kick out, and then he just kept doing it, and doing it, and doing it, and doing it. I'm literally watching this like, oh shit. I was like, they're really bringing back Super Cena because he's gonna kick out of all these and hit an attitude adjustment and that's it, or. Damn, they just had Solo borderline squash John Cena. That's crazy.
I wouldn't call it.
It wasn't squash, but towards the end, the way he was fucking beating him down, it was just I couldn't believe that John Cena was getting beaten down the way that he was. It was just kind of pinned, just got destroyed the last 2 minutes of the match.
Yeah,
there was no fight or nothing.
Yeah, I think unexpected.
It wasn't a squash match.
Unexpected in the moment. But I think it makes the most sense. Obviously, you don't get Cena breaking his 2,000-day loss streak, whatever, which sucks. That was kind of the story going in. But it does make more sense, and it's more important for Solo to get that win, especially with that crazy finish with the fucking spike. It puts Solo on that next level.
I agree. I think now though, whenever Cena does come back, he needs to start winning because I think we're getting to a point now where beating John Cena, not that it wasn't in this case, but it's starting to get to the point where it's just Theory beat him, so it's he's beatable.
That Theory win.
That should have never happened. But he's beatable. He's not Super Cena anymore. Yeah. So it's just kind of and it's not as impressive as it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, and I liked the story leading in of him being I don't know if I got it anymore, but fuck it, I putting my heart into it, which would have made sense to get a win. I think would have been a really feel good moment. But they kind of, which I don't believe it doesn't sound like you do either. They played this off almost ooh, this might be the retirement match. The way he walked up the ramp,
Michael
the way
Cole
he kind of
talking about how he was the greatest of all time. It's been a pleasure to announce him. And no, definitely not.
I think we're getting close.
We're definitely getting close. I do think this was just hey, I'm going back to Hollywood, so this is
probably
my
the end of the run.
You know what I mean? But no, I definitely do think he'll come back, and the whole story of him not getting a win and losing, that plays when he does come back and will play into I'm here, but I don't know if I can keep up, and you can continue that pity, oh, I feel bad for John Cena.
I lost to Solo and was so embarrassed, so I went away or I went back to Hollywood or whatever.
Yeah, you can play off of that, and hopefully when he does come back, he gets a win, so it kind of resets.
But with that said. Not that I think this was his retirement match, but even if he does come back, tradition is you go out on your back, go out looking at the lights, and he did that.
He did.
He put over. I mean, that's the story of his whole return since Mania, is putting people over. I'm with you. I think I'd love to see him get another win. I want him to see. I think we're in the same camp of we want to see another. We want to see that number 17. You know,
something or that or even like just like an intercontinental championship run. Something.
Sure.
I want to see something.
Or one last like intense feud. One last feud with Randy. Just something to really put. I don't think a loss to Solo at Crown Jewel is the final.
That's not the way to go.
I don't think it's
no.
No. All except for going out on your back, which I respect, but like everything else around it. If this match was maybe at
like
a WrestleMania,
I'd be more inclined to believe
for sure,
it, but.
for sure. And also don't think it doesn't seem like Cena really cares about like obviously storyline character. He's like, oh, I want my win, but like real life person, like I really doubt Cena cares about
wins and losses.
Getting that number 17
no.
or getting another win
if he won a 17th world championship, I guarantee you it would be because like management wants him to do it and not like Cena being like
were you talking about like there was interviews where he said he didn't want it or something? Or
yeah,
he
didn't want to like be ahead of Rick. He was like, I don't think he even like really wanted to be tied with him. I think it was just kind of like a respect thing. And like they talk about Charlotte winning.
Right.
He's like, I want her to get the 17, whatever. If he does ever win the 17, I think it would be because WWE management wants that story and not Cena being like, oh, I want to win a 17 championship.
Which I'm on their side. I want him to.
It's a great story.
Cena, I don't give a shit if you want 17.
Ric Flair, the whole 16 world championships is there's a little.
It's like it's mostly WCW.
Yeah, there's a lot of question marks around that. It's not all WWE stuff,
right?
But we'll see if that ever does happen.
We'll move on here to Logan Paul defeats Rey Mysterio. Relax for the U.S. Championship. This was great. It
was a great
match of the night.
I want to give Logan Paul his flowers for this one particular spot when Rey went to do the moonsault.
I was gonna him,
bro. That's impressive.
So
that's impressive.
I gotta be the annoying one. Logan was in the wrong position. He was not in the right position, but gets overshadowed by the important thing is that he saved Rey.
Right.
But I don't want to. We can't just be here on our knees for Logan. You know.
Hey, he looked good.
One of us loves doing it more than the other.
He looked good. He looked good.
But and then me being the Rey Mysterio rider, so it's kind of bounces. You know, we balance each other out. But yeah. So I was gonna get into that, but we can go on that. Yeah. Fucking Rey hits that springboard moonsault. Almost comes down on its head. Logan dives, makes the catch. Really, really just like. All the respect, whether granted, and you know, he may have not been in the right position, but regardless, he put Rey first and put protecting his opponent first, regardless of what mistake might have been made or what might not have been made at the end of the day, in terms of being a professional and respecting the business and respecting your opponent. Yeah, him saving. That shit was so scary.
It could have been
holy
bad.
shit. And also, like you were alluding to, all the respect in the world for dive. I mean, he was risking injuring himself, doing a dive and catching Rey in an awkward position, and then really professional, just like picking him up and turn it into a slam.
Still, yeah,
which I think made it kind of look flow, make it flow, look natural. No, that was like just a moment of like, okay, this kid, a professional move, and we all know how much he gets it. We all know how outside the ring how much respect he has for Rey. And whatever. I mean, he wouldn't be able to live with himself if he hurt. Well, not that he would have been the one to hurt Rey, but if he was had any involvement in like a Rey Mysterio injury,
he would have felt terrible about it.
But also, that was crazy.
One of the spots, one of my favorite spots of the night was when he had him for the press on the top rope when he did the back.
Yes,
flip.
crazy,
my God.
Crazy.
That's tough. That's tough.
So yeah, the betting odds were right. I think it was like 90-10 Logan winning or something. Yeah, it was like crazy. It was like 95 to. I mean, I don't know what the actual terminology is, but yeah. Beginning of the match, which I love when they do this. I love a vehicle entrance. Oh my! He starts out with like the dune buggy.
Yeah, it was
and
on
then,
the Titantron. They were showing the video.
He's in the dunes and then rides it through the streets.
Yeah.
And like that's like it's like I don't even want to call it a cliche, but Cena did it with the Charger where he's like driving the Charger through the streets.
And then Edge did it when he debuted in AEW. Didn't he do that? He drove the car.
Not into the arena, but it was part of the promo. It was
part of the package. Yeah.
But I love when they like, as if it's all like happening at the same time.
Like they didn't film it like
and then drives right into the arena.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for that. I love it.
It's good. It's good stuff.
So that was really cool. These two worked really well together. You know, I think Ray, obviously pairing Logan with a veteran, Ray can really help. Like they can play to Logan's strengths. And having someone like Ray on the other side can kind of cover up and pick up for maybe some of Logan's lack of experience.
Right.
Not to take anything away from Logan, but you know what I mean. And also, quick reminder, Rey Mysterio is 48 years old.
That's crazy.
And he's moving...
Is he that? I honestly thought he'd be older,
I thought he was on the other side of 50.
Yeah.
48 years old. He is moving just as quick as this fucking... How old's Logan? 28?
I was going to say, he's probably got 20 years on him.
Moving just as fast as this kid. How was Logan?
I want to say 27 or 28.
I want to say he's... Yeah.
I'll say 28.
28. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like he's always just 23. Like he's just 23 forever.
He'll never get to 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Rey Mysterio ages like fine wine. I mean, if you want to have a credible guy to put Logan Paul over, to have him win his first championship, I mean, Ray's as good as it comes. So
the Ray's attire too, with like the Mexican flag with the red and the dark green.
Rey Mysterio's got to be like one of the best, like has some of the best attires in history. Like he's had some like legendary, memorable outfits. Like one WrestleMania, he was the Joker. I remember he dressed up as
Spider-Man. He's the Captain America.
All the WCW ones where it's like the purple. Like he has so many iconic,
unbelievable
outfits.
Unbelievable. But get to the end of the match here. Controversial, interesting,
as it probably should have been. Honestly, I didn't see it
for
being
sure.
Like a clean...
I love the ending, but the Santos stuff. So Logan's friend, whoever the fuck that was, Logan's friend attempts to pass him some brass knuckles, and then Santos runs in, LWO for life, saves Ray, gets the knuckles, and then he goes to chase down whoever the fuck that friend was, but he leaves the brass knuckles on the ring side. So he takes the knuckles from the guy, and he's like, "Oh, I saved Ray," and then just places them back on the ring.
Instead of putting it in his pocket or something like that.
Or throwing them on the ground or putting them in his pocket or fucking anything. Yeah. And then Ray goes for the 619 or hits it or whatever the fuck happened. Brass knuckles, boom, to Ray. 1, 2, 3. And then a small little part that I liked. Ray's in the ring, just basically, because I think like the story throughout a lot of the match, I think was like the building respect from Ray.
Right.
And I think Ray was really gaining the respect throughout the match. And then Logan hitting with the brass knuckles. And the look on Ray's face in the corner was just like, I was building all that respect for you. And it's just, it all went away.
Logan was talking to him like, "Thank you, Ray. Like, I'm sorry I had to be like this." He goes, "You know what you did," or something like that. I fucking love that.
Which I started cracking up. He got me with Logan. Ray was like, "That was whatever he said. That was dirty, whatever." And Logan goes, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. That was fair and square." It's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. That was fair and square. Appreciate you. It's like,
I appreciate you, Ray. So good. So good.
But back to the brass knuckles thing, because that's what I meant by the controversial whatever. If this doesn't lead to either an argument between Ray and Santos, where it's either Ray being like, "Hey, what the fuck? You left him on the thing," or it being revealed that Santos left him there on purpose, which wouldn't really make any sense because he did interfere in the match. This would be stupid.
Yeah, no,
like, it
has to
stupid.
lead to something.
If it doesn't lead to anything, this was so stupid.
I definitely do think it will lead to something. Whether like Logan shows up and being like, "Hey, your boy is the one that left those brass." Like, you're mad at me for using the brass knuckles, but your boy is the one that left them there.
It could even be that. It's either one of the two.
It doesn't even
things.
have to be like Santos did it on purpose, and it could also be like Logan like instigating it.
Yeah,
be like,
it
"Hey,
could be,
you're the reason why Ray lost, or your friend is the reason why you lost," type of thing.
Regardless, one of the two, either way, it has to lead to something, or else it's just like if fucking what.
Right.
But
I can definitely see it being the latter of Logan Paul instigating it because
Sure.
like he's like fair, like hey, like don't get mad at me, like fair and square. He's like, listen, they were just there. You know what I mean?
My
like,
friend didn't pass me. It was your friend that passed me. Yeah, that's a good point. And then it sets up Logan and his friend.
Tag
versus
match. You can do Logan Escobar. You can do Logan Ray rematch. Eventually Ray Escobar. I'd imagine. So.
You saying Logan Escobar remind me during the match. Michael Cole kept calling him Lucha Logan. Or
Did he
something
really?
Like that.
That's
I think
hilarious.
that's what it was.
That's funny.
Anywho, Io Sky retains against Bianca Belair. I don't think this lived up to their backlash match.
It wasn't as good.
IMO,
but it was still good.
Fun match. These two have some of the best ring chemistry on the roster between two superstars. Io's fucking attire, bro.
It reminded me
of the best fitted on the roster.
It reminded me of like late 90s, early 2000s type of fit or something.
It was very
like that.
So it was very very big pants, tiny top. It was very Jeff Hardy Lita with like
that's a good comparison.
Baggy pants,
sure.
the neon shit.
Definitely.
Loved it. Biggest EO fan you'll find. Bailey makes an appearance, kind of interferes a little bit, but then news of the night. Kairi, maybe not news of the night. Well, it's up there.
That's up there.
Between Logan winning the U.S. Championship and Kairi returning, two huge pieces of news. Kairi Sane returns to WWE, takes out Bianca, and by proxy, Bailey. Helps Io retain. Bada bing, bada boom. Io and Kairi stand tall with the title. Woo!
You love to see it.
I mean, these are my goats.
It kind of sucked because the crowd reaction wasn't really that great when Kairi came back. I mean, I understand if it was like somewhere else, I think it would have been a pretty big pop. But and it's also like it's perfect because long-term storytelling. The last appearance Kairi Sane had in WWE was when she was feuding with like Bailey, and I think Stache was involved, and they took her out and she left.
Yeah, Michael Cole made a point to make note of that before the segment was over.
So smart way to insert her.
Yeah. So story here, boom. Kairi, Io in the ring, standing tall, all happy. They're hugging.
Bailey
awesome.
was distraught.
Bailey's not hyped. Kairi kind of like by proxy took her out. And also, is this the wedge between Io and Damage Control?
Yep.
Is Io gonna side with the her old friend, the returning Kairi, or is she gonna stick with Damage Control? And is Kairi gonna pull Io away? A lot happening here. Love it. Hopefully, I still don't know. No one knows the return schedule for Dakota.
Right.
But like I could see, depending on that, I could see, Kairi Io versus Dakota Bailey.
Sure.
Obviously, we're leading to Io Bailey.
Right.
We're probably gonna see Kairi Bailey on a SmackDown either this Friday or the Friday after. WWE Women's Division
is
on fire.
Also,
fire.
This is kind of like different news, but WWE is looking to and apparently is very close to signing. She competes in Stardom. I think her name's Julia. She was in the top 10 of the women's list. We talked about her before.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's
with a G.
It's G. Yeah. Apparently, they're saying that she could be in the Performance Center as soon as like next month.
Wow.
And she's 29. She's unbelievably talented.
Wow.
She's so fucking good. I think she's currently the champ. I'm not 100% sure.
What have you seen? You just seen like clips or something of her?
I've seen clips of her. I've heard like different things about her and her matches over there.
The Stardom title looks sick.
It does.
It really
That's
does. Really cool.
It
what
really
the fuck?
does.
I've never seen that before.
I think she has the strong. I don't know what it is. Maybe is it the strong championship?
But she has a title right now.
I think I could be wrong. I thought she did, but maybe it was before or something like that. But
I don't know.
Yeah. So the rumor is that they're looking to sign her, and that could happen very soon. So just kind of going back to the whole like the women's division is just absolutely stacked right now. Jade hasn't even debuted yet.
Oh, she's the current Artist of Stardom champion.
Okay, so she is.
Which I'm not sure if that's like the world champion. I'm not sure if that's a mid card.
Yeah, not 1,000% sure. Okay, so she is a champion. The women's division in WWE is absolutely stacked right now.
Wow. WWE has massive interest in signing New Japan Pro Wrestling Women's Champ Is that how you say it? Julia?
Julia, I think. Yeah.
Wow, never seen Julia spelled like that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Wow.
Very interesting name. Way of spelling it. But yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Just thought something to
I mean, if depending on how they treat her, either straight to the main roster or on NXT, bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, we'll see what they do with her.
That's cool. Cody Rhodes defeats Damian Priest in what was a less exciting match from what we're.
It was fine, but
it is
was
what
like
these two went out and they did their job.
Yeah,
you know,
they did. Yeah, they got their paycheck.
They got their paycheck. It was solid. Love a Cody match. Finn and JD come down to help Priest, and Jey Uso makes the save, runs in, kind of runs them off. So, I mean, this is all build up to on Raw, so whatever. Cody wins. This is interesting. Cody wins by hitting 3 crossroads on Damian.
I feel like he does this for a lot of his matches.
I don't know if Damian needed 3 crossroads.
Definitely didn't need. Maybe 2.
Maybe 2.
Definitely not. 3 is like he used 3 to beat Brock.
That's what I'm saying.
He's gonna use 3 to beat Roman. Like you need 3 to beat Damian. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's be real.
But yeah, this was what it was. I don't know if they necessarily needed this. I mean, like, for the sake of keeping them on the show, I get it.
I think they just needed to put Cody on the show, and they were like, all right, we'll give. I
mean, I'm still in the camp like, why not just have the tag title match?
They should have just had, because they're doing that on next week's episode of Raw. I think it's Finn, Damian versus Cody and Jay in a rematch.
Are they?
I think so. I think so.
Wow. That'd be crazy.
Let me double check.
Because I know on Raw, New Day lost to kind of get like a fail to get number 1 contenders. That'd be crazy.
Let me see. Let me make sure. Let me
keep going. While you're looking at that.
Okay. Cody and Jay versus Finn and Damian for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship for next week.
Wow.
Yeah, so that'll... Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, why couldn't they just have that...
if they're going to have it a week or 2 later,
Arabia.
I wonder who... I mean, I'd imagine JD retains. I can't see
if
why.
If they keep hot potatoing these tag team titles, it's going to piss me off, in all honesty.
Yeah, and I can't see a reason to change them because they're all in the same WarGames match. They're all in the same fucking...
Oh my god, they should this should have been the match where Judgment Day won the titles back from Cody and Jay. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, instead of them losing it a few weeks ago, they should have held on to it up until this point and then lost before WarGames.
Because hindsight's 20/20, but looking back on the past few weeks, it's like, oh well, them like switching the titles or losing the title, like didn't really matter.
Do much.
It didn't matter.
Do anything.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
They could have easily held off a month.
I'm with you.
It's frustrating.
Roman Reigns. I think a handful of people are also frustrated. Speaking of, Roman Reigns defeats LA Knight. This was great. It
was a really good match.
It was a lot better, and I thought it was going to be good, but it was still a lot better than I thought it was going to be. What I liked about it is at the beginning of the match, first of all, LA Knight's biggest match of his career, biggest stage of his career, and maybe I'm reading too into it, but how I read it is you could kind of see on his face how nervous he was. I think there was a hint of just nerves, which
it makes sense.
I'm not saying that as like a pussy. He was nervous. That's not what I'm saying. But just like not humbling, but just like I respected how
it was like he knew what he was getting himself into. But when he actually goes out there, he's like, oh shit, this is real and right now. It's
cool to see like the recognition in someone's face of like, holy shit, I'm in a world title match in front of fucking, I don't know, 50,000, whatever it was.
Just the human side of him.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Just like seeing like the real true emotions.
Right. So I thought that was a nice touch. He snapped back into character pretty fast, but pretty standard Roman match. Nothing too crazy. LA Knight got a lot of offense.
He did.
Looked fantastic. Looked great. Solo and Jimmy did run in to help Roman, which this is controversial. LA Knight kicks out of the spear, which is great. Hits Roman with his finisher, pins him. 1, 2, but Jimmy puts the leg up, Roman's leg up on the rope, meaning LA Knight would have gotten that 3 count.
So people were some people were tweeting that like there was a fuck up with the ref.
I don't think
the crowd was way ahead of the referee.
The crowd was at like 3
because people
before.
like he hit 3, like no he didn't. Like he stopped right before 3. The crowd was like half a second ahead. I loved that they had LA Knight get as much offense as you said, and also kicking out of a spear.
Yeah.
That right there, because they easily could have ended the match, because it was like a Superman.
I thought it was over. I thought it was over. Yeah,
easily could have ended the match there. Him kicking out, WWE allowing him to kick out and keeping the match going, that says more to me than him losing. Be like, okay,
than him winning.
But it's like that's like, oh, they're protecting him. Like, if he just like got pinned, it's like, okay, like this was just, they gave him a match, whatever. But it's like him kicking out of Roman Reigns' spear is like, damn, like they're gonna keep him around. You know what I mean? Like, not everyone does that.
Yeah, to give him, because it was like
he looked strong.
It was a false finish of like real fucking close, which I think helped it kick into the next gear. Closing out the match, Roman spears Knight through the barricade and one more in the ring to get the win, which kind of, again, to your point, is it took a spear through the barricade and another one in the ring to put him away.
Right.
It didn't just take, like that one spear, whatever. We still got Solo and Jimmy interference.
We did.
But at least it was like, I mean, you can argue LA Knight would have gotten the 3 if it wasn't for Jimmy, but at least it wasn't like, at least Solo didn't hit anyone.
Yeah, he was just kind of like a distraction.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as previous matches, which I respected.
Me too.
So it was a typical Roman match, but it was like, it had a little twist to it. It was a little different.
Probably the better of his... in recent memory, he's had 3 in recent memory. But
it was his first match since SummerSlam, which is crazy.
I'd say it's a standout, which is still stupid to say, a standout of Roman matches for this year, for sure.
I really wish he would be at Survivor Series.
It's crazy that he's not wrestling at Survivor Series. It's the top 4. I know.
That's ridiculous. It's so annoying. But yeah, LA Knight, even though in loss, he looked strong. They made him look good in this match.
Looked great.
Which I'm very... That was the key here, was how is LA Knight going to look and be presented afterwards, knowing he's going to lose? And I think they did a very good job. Also, I just thought about this. Why LA Knight could be the 5th member of WarGames too. Right?
Yeah.
On the good side of things. I mean, I know it would be kind of like weird that he's kind of thrown in there, but like big match, main event, I don't know what else you would do.
Yeah, I mean, they have a couple weeks to try to interfuse someone.
Maybe if Jimmy, it would be a lot of like this needs to happen. Like if Jimmy's involved, like maybe LA Knight still has a thing with the bloodline.
Then it's like I'm mad at Jimmy. Can
I have unfinished business. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just thought about that. Talking.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's probably not as likely as some of the other people we mentioned, but it definitely could.
I mean, like weeks ago, we were talking Knight and Cena in the
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right. Yeah, we'll see.
Overall, solid show. I know we were kind of talking about at the beginning. Some stuff was pretty predictable. I think it was a little heavy in the interferences on the show, but it's a Crown Jewel show. So, a lot of people call it which I don't agree with it, but a lot of people call it a glorified house show. I think this was a step up. But it kind of makes sense for like it didn't have that like Big 4 feel because there was a lot of like interferences.
So there were interferences in, let's see, go down the run.
Let's see, Sami and JD were good. Seth and Drew, we were good.
Rhea was good. Solo was good. Logan Paul interference. EO interference. Cody was good. Yeah, so 3 matches. Yeah, 3 title matches.
I guess not. Yeah, it's not. I mean,
as much as half of the matches almost.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and they are all like on like the second half, and they are all the big matches. But like, I mean, that's just kind of me. That's not necessarily all what I feel. I'm just kind of saying what the discourse has been.
Those how heels get wins nowadays. So
yeah, I guess so. All right, Monday Night Raw kind of interfused it a lot with the show, but Seth and Sami opened up the show, like we were talking about, as a thank you to Sami for preventing Damian to cash in. Seth is giving Sami Zayn a world title match, and Sami is choosing to have that match later on that night. Sami expresses that he doesn't want Judgment Day to become the Bloodline 2.0. I hear you. I hear you, man. I'm sick of it.
I'm with you. I had to just get that out of me.
But yeah, I mean, this, like, again, I don't want to go over it again, but we talked about the briefcase thing, and if the shenanigans and giving up the fun part of like stealing the briefcase sets up what was a crazy match of Sami and Seth later on, fine. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. It's cool seeing Seth having like these random like world championship
Oh,
matches
yeah.
on Raw and just like getting like if you at the end of the day when his reign's done, you'll look at all the defenses he had, see all the different names and stuff. He's had a really solid run.
Yes.
He's had a really solid reign.
Judgment Day defeat New Day in what was a solid, fine TV match. Nothing crazy. I think it was more so, and you know, like I just found out leading into the title defense next week. I think it was important to get this win. It kind of knocked New Day down from becoming the number one contenders, as it was kind of what the match was. And it solidified and established Finn. Holy shit, too many names. Finn and Damian as champs. What are you gonna do? Bada bing, bada boom. Nothing crazy. Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Akira Tozawa.
I'm happy Tozawa's getting TV time. Even if he's losing, I'm happy he's getting TV time. He's entertaining as hell.
That's really my note for it. I don't have much to say about the match. It was pretty quick, but I'd love that he's getting TV time, and love that he's getting TV time in the ring. You know,
Yeah, definitely.
I think him aligning himself with Alpha Academy is a kind of fun, unexpected addition. Kind of seems to have happened naturally, which I think is fun. And he's good in the ring, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think he fought on NXT
right,
last night,
which is like
for the World Cup, the Heritage Cup,
which is very funny that he like on Raw he's like this silly Alpha Academy.
Then
whatever.
on Tuesday he's actually wrestling and stuff like that. And I think I could be wrong, but I know they did a video backstage thing with Shinsuke afterwards, and it was like, "Oh, is that the challenger you were looking for, or whatever?" And he was like, "No, it's not who I'm looking for." Like laughing at it, whatever. So that's something's gonna happen there. Whether it's CM Punk or anyone else, something's gonna happen there.
38 years old, Akira Tozawa.
He was in the was he in the cruiserweight thing? Remember they had that tournament
back with like
years
the purple
ago?
belt. I think so,
he was
right?
in it.
I believe
he is a
so.
former cruiserweight champ. I went to the episode of Raw. It was in Boston in 2017 when he beat Neville for the cruiserweight championship.
Really?
It was like they were supposed to have a match at SummerSlam, which was that next Sunday, and they were like, "Oh, we'll have a match. Like we're gonna have our match on the Raw before, like for shits." And Tozawa won it, and I think they had their rematch at SummerSlam, and Neville won it back. But
A couple of WWE 24/7 champion 16 times.
hey, tied with John Cena.
Cruiserweight champion one time, and won the NXT North American Championship Invitational in 2018.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, he's he can go. He's a good guy to have around.
Wow. A lot of accomplishments. I'm not sure what Dragon Gate is, but a lot of accomplishments in Dragon Gate. Wow. Interesting. PWI ranked him number 92 of top 500 in 2018.
Ah, there you go.
Interesting. All right, moving on. The Miz.
Yes.
Defeats Bronson Reed, Ivar, and Ricochet. Brother, we are in 2016 again. We're in 2016.
Great match up until the ending. The ending was very weird to me.
So we'll get to it.
So happy.
Ending was weird.
So happy.
Miz is going crazy. I don't know if I love the babyface turn.
I think it seemed really good last week. Like it was like natural, kind of like he wasn't like forcing it. It seems like they're really trying to get him to force it now, like trying to get the crowd going and doing the different like things. I
don't know why they're not just doing like, it's what's worked for him in 2016 and what's worked for him for the past couple of weeks is doing like, you do the pseudo heel, but you know, it's like a very MJF thing where it's like the pseudo heel babyface thing where it's like, you don't change your character necessarily. Right. You don't have to change much, but now the crowd's naturally into your hot promos and your in-ring ability
because he brings a lot of realism into his promos to a lot of things that people can relate to. So all that.
You can still be the bad guy Miz, but also accept fan support. So I don't know if I don't love the babyface thing.
I think they're just doing it a little too fast. Like if they just like literally just like don't have him do any of the in-ring stuff where he's just like, you know how like you're getting ready for a finisher and he's just like standing like trying to get the crowd. Like you don't need to be doing any of that stuff. Just like feed into it. Like let the crowd do their thing, and then as time goes on, you can implement. That's kind of like what MJF was doing.
Maybe have some moments in the ring where he notices the crowd cheering for him. Doesn't necessarily like be like but like, you know, he'll acknowledge it a little bit or feed into it.
He seems like confused, like this is different or something.
But regardless, if this means we get the Miz in this position with performances like this, who am I?
Fine, fuck it.
Gotta feel bad for Ricochet. He's in all these matches. He's in all these number one contenders matches. He gets right even to the match, and he's right at the brass ring.
I actually was thinking of that because he's on the promo for Raw. Like they have like on YouTube TV, Hulu, whatever. It's like they have like the picture
preview thing.
It's like Seth, Becky, someone else, and then Ricochet. I forget. Maybe it's I forget who it is. And he's featured every single week. Like he's like they rely on him. Like he's very trustworthy. But like you said, he always gets to the match and it just always comes up short.
Yeah, and he's all, and especially like him and the Miz. Like Ivar and Bronson had a really good like head to head. I think Ricochet and Miz worked really well too. I mean, this match was great.
It was.
But yeah, but then I'm glad the Miz won. But yeah, just like in the back of your head, it's like, damn. Well, see you in the next number one contenders match. See you in the next ladder match.
He'll always be in him. He'll always be featured in them.
He gets his payday. And so, like you were saying at the beginning, super convoluted ending to catch people up to speed. I forget who was pinning who, but the Miz and Ricochet were both getting pins at the same time, and the ref was going to do a double count. What I thought was weird is he only did it with one hand. You know how usually when they do a double count, they do the two hands, which, you know, we'll go on to what happened. But I think a double hand, would have helped way.
Like 1, 2,
and then stop one
3.
hand. Stop one hand.
Yeah. Because he kind of like 1, 2, stop. Oh,
so he
lifted up. Oh, 3 type of thing.
It was even before he kicked out. Excuse me. The ref. It's like obviously everyone knew the plan. The ref like hesitated before coming down on 3, and then Ricochet just like kicked out during the hesitation, and then he hit the 3. And it was just like, it seemed like...
And then like afterwards, people were like, oh, who won? But it's like, well,
they were playing that. Yeah, they were playing that.
I was like, well, it was very obvious that Miz got the win there. And then they were like, he was celebrating like, who won? It's like, I'm pretty sure I know who won. But...
They did a replay. Sophie says, door, please. Okay, you want to run in? I'll kind of talk here. With Dante saying that, what I thought was weird too is fucking they play a replay and then Wade Barrett sees the replay and it's like clear as day 3, and he's like, thank God for replays. Thank God we would have no idea what would happen if that. Let her in. Hey, Soph, where is she? Hey,
she just walked in. Yeah,
but it's just fucking weird. And then so it's either like it's one or two. What I thought happened, but then like with commentary saying that, what I thought happened is the ref should have just kept going naturally, and Ricochet was going to kick out the last second.
Right.
But then, like you said, commentary was playing it as if they got a double 3,
but it was nowhere close to a double 3.
Yeah, or if it was, I guess maybe Ricochet kicked out way too. Or I think it was. The ref hesitating threw everything off.
It really did.
Yeah.
And then Ivar after the match attacked Miz. That's a kind of like, oh, I should have won the match, even though Ricochet obviously. Yeah.
It was weird.
Very confusing.
Regardless, Miz got the win. I think a lot of it's all. I mean, I'm not here to place blame. I think do a double count here and maybe I don't know.
Yeah, could have been done better.
Creed Brothers defeat DIY. Love these guys. I know you're also hot on them.
They signed their deal, bro. Oh,
officially on hyped. Monday Night Raw.
I'm hyped.
Solid match. Also against. This was a match to, one, keep the Creed Brothers winning. Obviously, you want to keep them on a roll, especially from last week. And 2, introduces for the first time DIY to a more just casual mainstream audience. Because if you're just a Monday Night Raw watcher or whatever, you probably don't know that DIY was a thing.
Definitely.
And also they haven't super been showcased, but Ludwig interferes, costing DIY the match. So kind of your Creed Brothers get the win. DIY is saved from a loss. Also will lead into DIY versus Imperium. I'm sure we'll get Creed Brothers, Imperium, more DIY stuff. So
win.
Tag team division is really shaping up, and also these two teams went crazy, showed their stuff. I didn't like it as much as Creed Brothers versus Alpha Academy.
Sure.
But fun. Yeah. This was great.
They have a bright future.
Zoe Stark, like we mentioned before, we can kind of skim over this, but Zoe Stark wins the number 1 contenders battle royal. At the beginning of the match, Xia Li attacked Becky Lynch, taking her out of who I thought was going to win. Takes her out of the match and also takes herself out of the match because Adam Pearce wasn't going to allow her to compete. Nikki Cross was still doing her standing, staring thing. Yep. Nia and Raquel had a funny moment of just like looking over her and blah, blah, blah. Toss her out. See you later. Maybe I'm in the minority here. I like the Nikki Cross staring thing.
I do too.
I think it's interesting. I'm just waiting for the payoff.
Yeah.
It's like a funny, interesting thing. I always like the, creepy, supernatural, if that's what they're doing.
Keeps people guessing what's going to happen
Sure.
next. So.
I'm not super confident we're going to get a crazy payoff.
But we can hope.
But I like the ride. It's more about the journey than the destination.
Definitely.
As they say in wrestling. Stark's got the win over Baszler. Fresh matchup. We already talked about it. Rhea versus Stark at Survivor Series. Last one. Last note. Which again, we already talked about this, but we'll kind of talk about the setup. We'll talk about the match. We haven't talked about the match. Seth Rollins retains his World Heavyweight Championship against Sami Zayn.
Yes, he did.
I think this blew Seth and Drew out of the water. Yeah. Maybe not blew out of the water. I think it was better.
I think Seth and Drew was a standard match. Nothing crazy. I'm not going to go back and watch it, but it was fine. This match was very I think just their two styles of wrestling it meshes so well.
I think it's also more it's what I lean towards. Mm-hmm. I like Drew, and it's also like a Roman thing where I think some of their matches are slower, and it's not like they're both big dudes.
At the end of the day, Drew McIntyre's a big man.
Sure.
I mean, so he's agile, he can do things, but it's not like Sami Zayn.
Yeah, I think I just like smaller guys. In real life, these two dudes are still probably huge. It's just more my style. They went crazy. My favorite, it's kind of a newish thing that Seth does, but it's my favorite where he does springboard swanton and then rolls into a lion salt back. First of all, fantastic swanton. Mm-hmm. You as kind of a swanton.
Hell yeah.
Not curator, connoisseur. Swanton connoisseur.
I love a good swanton.
If he just started busting out swantons, I wouldn't.
Hey, it might not be good for his back, but hey, it looks.
That's a good point.
I'm not the one in the ring.
That's a really good point.
I'm not the one in the ring.
But yeah, it's just really, really smooth, and it's just it's also a great line. So
one other thing we didn't really talk about. This it involves Seth, so I guess I can kind of jump in here really quick. So Seth beats Drew at Crown Jewel. Mm-hmm. Tweet. Will Ospreay. Did you see their little Twitter interaction?
I did.
He's like, the water is warm.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently. So for months, people thought it was foregone conclusion when Will Ospreay's contract is up at New Japan, he's going to go to AEW.
Make the most sense.
Apparently, now he's really keeping his options open.
I would love it.
He's gonna. WWE is definitely gonna get a meeting. They're definitely gonna be able to meet.
I'm sure they've talked to him. I'm sure they've met.
If I'm Will, I'm keeping my options open. I'm sure WWE will offer him a much bigger bag. But I do think AEW might be the best place for him as far as being able to show off his true wrestling. I
think he's going to have more 5-star matches in the future in AEW.
Correct. But in WWE, they would. He'd
might win the World Heavyweight Championship in WWE. I don't know.
I would love it.
If he could do, which I don't think Tony would sign him to a year or just a year. If he could do a year in AEW and then
get the run
WWE,
and then go to WWE, I can see.
Because I want to see a lot of these AEW matches.
Yeah, I agree.
But you got Will and Seth. You run Will and Cody, which is insane. That's happening in WWE.
Will and Shinsuke. Will and fucking Ricochet. I mean, you can list off a million people that he could have 5-star matches with in WWE as well. But
Will and CM Punk.
I mean, come on. But I know we didn't mention that, but that was a pretty...
No, I'm glad you.
They have a history of going back and forth to each other.
These two hate each other. These two hate each other.
But it was very interesting.
Seth wins with a roll up, kind of keep Sami strong. They both, it's kind of like not a shocking finish, but a roll. It's a roll up finish. Mm-hmm. Two gave each other respect. brawl happens. Everyone's fighting to each other. With JD comes down, the good guys come down. Everyone runs in. I get fired up when Cody runs in. He's just like
the music hits.
He's just like a fucking
he's like a fucking dad, bro.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Like
Runs
dad's
in,
about to
like a
beat
dad.
the shit out of all the kids.
Dad's
You
about
guys
to lay down the hammer.
I'm pissed he wasn't injured though. I would have loved if he had like a brace on or
just
a
has
boot,
has
a neck
something.
brace.
Yep.
Just like
he would have been stronger.
Where'd you get the black
He would have been
guy
stronger.
from? I don't know. Just woke up with it.
Adam Pearce. All credit where credit is due. I think he nailed this. Obviously, you're not going to hit a William Regal.
William Regal, but
you four want to play games?
I was like, oh,
you four want to play games? We're going to play games. In war games.
He looked like he was about to pop a blood vessel when he looked at the camera and said it.
Again, everyone instantly went, not as good as Regal, not as good as Regal. Which, fine. You can't touch him.
You can't. But it was really good.
Adam Pearce put his whole Adam Pearce in
yeah, he did. He did. He did a great job. Yeah, I mean, it's
War Games.
This fucking better be the end to this feud because War Games it's the best way to end something like this. Let Judgment Day start feuding with someone else for the next 6 months.
And the babyfaces probably have to win it, right? Because you have Cody and Seth on the other side.
Well, it depends on who eats the pin, what happens, shenanigans. I don't know. I could see it both. I could see it going both ways.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
because they've been hammering home Judgment Day being strong and building them up. But like you said, Seth and Cody losing is kind of like
I have to keep. It's like shocking that this is in 2 weeks. I have to keep reminding myself this is in 2 weeks.
Quick turnaround.
You know what I mean?
Quick turnaround.
That's crazy. Well, so yeah, we'll have our Full Gear predictions next week, and then after that, Survivor Series predictions. Fun.
Yeah. Big predictions month.
Shout out to everyone who was on stream for Crown Jewel with me last weekend. I'll more than likely be on for Full Gear, and I'll more than likely be on for War Games.
Yeah,
we're having fun. Shout out everyone in the Discord before we go. Sophie's here. We gotta film some quizzes.
We got some quizzes.
But before we go, hit join the Discord, become a member. All of that stuff, we appreciate it. Subscribe. Hit the link in description. You can find Dante's newsletter. Follow us on Instagram. Follow our personals on everything. It's on the screen. What else do we need to plug? Is that it? Do we need to plug anything else?
No merch.
Sweep City merch. We mentioned merch. Sweep City merch. Still going crazy. Sweep City merch. You can find that linked in description as well. Shop.clutchpoints.com. You still get a hat and or a t-shirt.
Love it.
Other than that, a nice little condensed episode.
Nice recap episode.
Also, which we never... If you're watching this at this point, doesn't matter. We're filming this on the Wednesday, which is why we haven't touched on AEW.
No Dynamite.
No Dynamite.
Sorry.
But on the plus side, you get this a little earlier. What's our saying? I think we forgot about it.
1 year. Happy 1 year.
I guess that's
Happy 1 year.
Yeah. Happy one. But they need to add something to it because I think everyone's gonna say happy 1 year. Because if you make it to the end, you have to know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Happy 1 year. Oh, GTA. Happy. Can't spend too much time on it. So. She's like, I fucking knew.
She doesn't want to do it.
So, give us a phrase. You got a phrase for us? She hates being on the spot. She hates to put her on the spot.
Nothing. All right, no, that's it. That's the phrase. No,
leave. Sophie, you got a phrase for us. That's the
Sophie, you got a phrase for us? Question,
and that'll be the.
It is. All right.
Thank you for listening. Next week is the anniversary. Again, thank you a million times over. We appreciate it. Thank you for the plaque. Thank you for the year, and to many more. We'll see you all week for quizzes and in the next episode.
Until next time.
Dante, goodbye.
Peace.